Now, this may shock some of you who are on the far right, but Paul Golding is an absolute wanker and a fucking liar. Sure, he has done some stuff that, is heroic, I would say very, very loosely. He has gotten himself routinely arrested for exposing Pakistani rape gangs, and he has, um, taken pictures with the fucking grieving families of, children who were affected by his rape gangs. But honestly, I think he just did that for clout, just for to make himself look good. Because Golding is, I don't know, but he's anything but a British patriot. I mean, sure, he is patriotic in a sense, but really, he's just a racist. I mean, he's repeatedly got himself arrested, building himself up a nice little criminal record, which will definitely be held against him, because Golding has a plan to win, Parliament number 10 through voting through democratic means. He wants to vote in local elections. That will never happen. Britain First will never win, because Golding has a fucking criminal record. He's been arrested time after time after time. And he's just a racist. I mean, sure, I'm a little racist. He's majorly racist. And, Britain First, at this point, they're an absolute scam. Of course, there's the whole issue with Golding lying routinely on his fucking Twitter about the Palestinian-Israeli war, where he's, as I explained in the other video, he's basically just got images and videos of different things, such as Egyptian paratroopers, and said that they're Hamas fighters parachuting over the Israeli border, or he's got pictures of either an Iranian or Egyptian or some other Middle Eastern country, flyby of stealth bombers, and saying that that they are the Israeli Air Force, when of course Israel does not have stealth bombers. So he's a liar. He has lied about the conflict, and whenever something happens in politics, whether it be the Israel-Palestine war or Russell Brand or anything else, he virtue signals endlessly, and so does his little assistant Ashley, whatever her name is. And the man is highly hypocritical. He says he's a British nationalist, a British patriot, and he says that he wants to put Britain first. Yet when Israeli-Palestine war happens, or Ukrainian war happens, he says he stands in solidarity with a foreign war. Now, I don't stand in solidarity with either side, nor Israel nor Palestine, because Israel wants to send all the Hamas terrorists that are currently in Gaza. They say they want to turn Gaza into a parking lot and send all the Arabs to Europe. And during the 2015 migrant crisis, Israel repeatedly demonized those who spoke out against the migrants, such as Tommy Robinson, which is weird how Tommy Robinson has come out in support of Israel, the same nation that have called him a racist, and actually campaigned to have him locked up. Because it was Israel who was behind Robinson being locked up multiple times, because Israel literally demonized people like Robinson and people like Golding for speaking out against, genuine concerns about these refugees. No, migrants, sorry. And now Israel want to send us more migrants, most of them in support of terrorist groups like Hamas, to British cities where there's lots of support for Palestine. Can you see that this is just a recipe for disaster? And of course, Palestine, Palestine's ultimate aim, which they're not going to achieve, because now that Hamas have, invaded Israel, all that is going to happen is they're going to get slaughtered. I mean, Hamas are going to get slaughtered. I don't know what they think they could achieve. I think they were riding off of the success of the Taliban, Because the Taliban, they think they're all strong and tough and powerful, when in reality, all they did was take over Afghanistan from a weakened, crippled Afghan army, when the much more powerful US left with all their shiny new equipment, still in many Afghan military bases, and the Afghan National Army unable to use them. So Hamas thought themselves up, that they could take over Israel, a sophisticated, modern nation equipped with nuclear weapons and the latest technology, with some cheap, rusted AK-47s and some fucking Toyota pickup trucks. I don't know what they were thinking, but I just know they're gonna die. It's gonna be a massacre. And they're gonna send the grieving widows and children of these dead terrorists to our cities. Israel. And if Palestine wins, which they won't win, but if they do win, then what Palestine or Hamas's ultimate aim is to not only reconquer Israel, but to reconquer former lands of former Islamic caliphates, such as Spain, Eastern Europe, Africa. They want to start another caliphate. So if either side wins, it's going to be terrible. But it looks like because Israel's going to win. They're going to flatten Gaza and send thousands of potential terrorists to Britain, which just cause more problems. And on top of that, there are thousands of Palestinian related people within Britain now who are inspired by the attack by Hamas, and have thousands of migrants on Lampedusa who are about to be dispersed through Europe, who are chanting Allahu Akbar in migrant camps in Greece. So essentially, what we're going to see is a wave of terrorist attacks by Hamas supporting Palestinians, because Israel just wants to grab all these Palestinians, these Hamas supporting Palestinians, and just send them to Europe, because they don't care. Because Israel just sees Europe as a dumping ground. It sees Britain as a dumping ground. And if Golding is in support of the very thing he's campaigning against, Britain first, so that they were going to stop mass illegal immigration. Yet if they support Israel, then they're just encouraging more mass illegal immigration, since Israel wants to deport thousands of potential terrorists to fucking Britain. So Paul Golding is an absolute wanker, an absolute hypocrite, an absolute idiot for believing that, because if he really is a British nationalist, he should not get involved. He should follow the stance of actual nationalist movements, such as Patriotic Alternative, who aren't involved in the Israel-Palestine movement. It's none of their business. They're way too busy with actual concerns like the Lenafly protests, or protesting across the country to stop actual actually changing demographics in British cities. And if Patriotic Alternative do say something about the Israel-Palestine conflict, I hope they say that they don't support either side, and that they condemn Israel for wanting to send potential terrorists to Britain after they just turned Gaza into a car park. It's a bad idea what Israel want to do, and in my opinion, they should send these terrorists. That's what they are. They're just going to be terrorists because where they lived, Gaza has been turned to a car park. So what do you think they're going to do? Huh? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to want to attack Israel. So I don't think they should send them to Europe. They should send them to Saudi Arabia or any other Arab country. If they send them to Europe, they'll get radicalized, go to Palestine, cross the border, bang bang. So yeah, or they'll blow themselves up in a Western country. But By the way, Paul Golding is an absolute wanker for supporting any side. We should be neutral. We should be neutral. It isn't our war. What Hamas and other terrorist groups want to do is start World War III. And Paul Golding, people like him, are just feeding them. They're feeding this war, which is going to cost, and it's already costing in the lives of millions of innocent people.